the German name, full of two Germans. I know, I called them Germans a lot. I apologize for that. We actually had a bit of a delay. One of the teams was taking a while to be able to get their last in, so I set a countdown timer. I figure we might as well show off the beautiful studio. It looks good, doesn't it?
It's okay.
Oh my god, are you serious right now? Are you going to give me it's okay? Like, you just show up like 15 minutes beforehand. You're like, look at all this stuff that looks really good. It's okay.
Here's the thing, though. If you brag about stuff, if you brag about stuff, people don't like it. I figured out the community. You've got to have a certain measure of self-deprecating charm to yourself. So if we just call this a piece of shit that we just threw together, it'll go over a lot better.
You know, but there are certain things that you put enough love and time and effort into that you can afford to be a little proud of it.
Yeah, like a child or a good haircut, not a studio.
I'm cutting away from us now before I punch you in the face. Let's go. All right, first pick, Lena. What a big surprise.
You say that, but I mean, that's...
If anybody's not knowing, that's sarcasm.
Yeah, Lena.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a hero that, let's be real here, like the first 4 picks have kind of been fleshed out for this meta, and like the type of carry that you're going to pick, it kind of almost follows like a flowchart. Like, can you get Gyrocopter? No. Then pick Phantom Lancer. Can you get Phantom Lancer or Gyrocopter? And they picked a Storm Spirit? Take Anti-Mage. Is Leshrac in the pool? Take Leshrac.
It just goes like that.
Yeah, so Danish bears, let's see what they're left with. There's a Tusk, and there's a Queen of Pain. I'm trying to think right now. They could go for the Dazzle again, but it was so unsuccessful the first time around. They might take it to block it from 5 Boys, but I'm not actually sure. See, I don't know whether it's more respectful to call them 5 Boys, because I just have terrible pronunciation of their thing, or if I just attempt it and...
I'm sure we just keep calling them five boys.
Yeah. I think that's what...
Five boys is going to be easier for me to remember in the middle of a team fight when I'm trying to describe them.
Then
that's why I naturally fall back on the Germans from last game.
That 5Jungs.
5Jungs.
5Jungs. Like that name has to just be made to troll us, right?
It definitely is.
Yeah, that's entirely just to troll us. I'm not even worried about it.
All right. Jeez, they're tipping in pretty heavily into their reserve time at this point.
It's the second pick too. You figure at this point they would kind of have a game plan, but maybe they're just debating based on what happened in the last game.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say, you kind of expect... I mean, Earthshaker, PL, like something PL is not that surprising, right? We've seen like teams like Vega Squadron, who just qualified for New York, very highly prioritizing the PL.
PL is it's a weird hero because there are counters to it, and some teams feel really comfortable playing against it, but others just feel as though he's one of those heroes that snowball out of control, and then it feels like you've lost all control of the game, and it just dips into a point where you can't really come back. But I think the Phantom Lancer, it's so safe. Like, everybody's picking him if the Gyro or the Lesh isn't available nowadays. Like, I don't actually know any team that can't really play him, because the thing is, he's a pretty fun carry to play too. Like, it's not even boring to play.
Certainly a lot more fun than the old rendition of him.
The old Phantom Lancer where you got a Radiance was just the worst.
Yeah, at least there's, you know, Doppelganger. You have to actually be in a lane in order to push it.
Yeah, I guess.
Battle Fury Heroes, Animage, Ember Spirit. Possibly going to be banned away as our fourth from...
I don't even think they have to ban the Ember, really.
No?
Nah, they've got ways to deal with that.
It seems like Ember was like... It used to be when teams would pick PL, like the Ember Spirit was a natural reaction, but it seems like a lot of the times now that Ember isn't even good enough.
It's one of those soft counters. Like, you think it counters it, but then you realize like you have a Battle Fury at 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't have Sleight of Fist up enough. And probably more importantly than that, you're not going to have high ground ability with that hero. And at some point, you do have to go high ground if you want to end it against the PL. There are a lot of different reasons why I don't like the hero as a straight-up counter.
Well, now, the 5 boys are taking away all the reserve time. Jeez. I mean, I understand the first one too is a lot more important than maybe in previous batches, but
Okay, there. People are saying "foomph," not "foomph." Like what's
foomph, not foomph.
What does that umlaut mean above the U? I don't know how to pronounce that. That doesn't make sense to me.
All I know is I've gotten a bajillion pronunciations on Twitter.
This is so confusing.
Yeah.
All I know is that it's AUI 2000 and not AUI.
Yeah, but Owie sounds better.
Does it though? I don't think it does. It's like owie.
I mean, it's a little bit faster to say.
No, I'm always gonna say. Okay, so let's see. You've got.
We're almost. Are we? Hello?
All the time is going.
Are we
out.
here? Everyone's here. No one's disconnected.
What's actually happening? Like they're actually floating through so much of their time.
10 seconds remaining.
With just this ban. Okay, they take the Visage ban.
What?
All right.
Is Rise a Visage player?
I don't know. They're probably.
Dire team pick.
I bet 5 Boys does something weird and they take like Enigma because they banned a Visage and they took a Rubik. That's the pick. I'm sure it is. Go take the Enigma.
An offlane Enigma or a 4-position Enigma
4-position Enigma
with
Get it,
Earthshaker
girl.
offlane? Get it, girl.
Get it, girl.
Okay. Good lord. Arteezy spamming.
Yeah, that guy's an attention
10
whore.
seconds
Just ignore
remaining.
him. Like, people like that go away after a while. That guy's just trying to fiend drama and
5
and start
seconds
stuff.
Why did I have to time out one of my own mods? Arteezy,
you?
please.
Did you just ban him?
Yeah. I've got the power. I mean, you think the mod is above the law, but I am the law.
Oh, that's hilarious. He's gonna.
You know, it's funny. He was the one who messaged me on Skype the first time to get him modded on this channel.
He also flamed me in the chat. So
He's like, mod me, you fuck. I was like, that's great.
all right, watch the Enigma pick. Analyzing happened.
Analyzing happened? Is that what
Analyzing happened.
10 seconds
Here we
remaining.
go. Go take the Enigma.
5
But in all
seconds.
Speaking of which,
seriousness-
Crystal Maiden has been pretty popular. Okay.
Dire
That's a
team
razor.
pick.
5th pick Enigma then.
Right? So somebody decided that they didn't want to have fun in a game. Like Razor's an amazing hero.
There was that one player who's like, actually, I was playing in, what was I playing with? And there was some.
It's 2015 and there are heroes like Storm and Dota, and you choose to play Razor.
Yeah.
Like let's be real here. There are some heroes.
I don't know who I was talking to, and it
10
was something like
seconds
maybe it was some
remaining.
sort of in-house or something, but it was just like there was a couple of pros who were just like,
5
oh yeah, I
seconds
like
remaining.
Viper, and I'm just like,
No,
really,
You're not.
really.
they're not being serious. They're just messing with you, Cap.
Reserve time.
No, I'm pretty sure they.
Nobody
weren't.
likes playing Viper
I'm pretty
and
sure they
Razor.
weren't
10
because
seconds
the
remaining.
reaction, I was like, nobody likes playing Razor or Viper.
Viper is more fun than Razor.
Radiant team
I'll give you that. Razor, you just suck damage and you run at people. You press a button. You press like 2 buttons. You don't even have to click around. You just press those buttons. Like one of your spells just appears.
I just figured you
10
would enjoy the
seconds
sucking
remaining.
aspect of that hero.
That's not even a good joke.
Dire
Wow,
team
that was so
back.
cringy.
All right.
There were so many memes you could have gone, like the lightning aspect.
What? Okay.
That wasn't good. That just wasn't good.
You know what? The next time, I'm going to have you come in and set up
10
the studio.
seconds
That's
remaining.
fine. It'll give you more time
And
to
then,
prepare your
then I'm
jokes.
going to get here, and
5
Blitz is
seconds
literally just
remaining.
going to be because he's goddamn napping between games.
I'm not napping between it. You think I can nap on this hard floor? What do you think I am,
Radiant team
Korean?
pick.
All right, so Juggernaut's banned. You got Magnus taken by Danish Bears. Let's see what they actually take here. You either take your offlane or your support. I'm not actually sure what direction you take. You've got time though.
Listen, Arteezy, you'll come back in 10
10
minutes.
seconds
It's going to be
remaining.
okay.
Don't worry, dude. He'll be gone by then. I don't even know why we're
5
talking about him
seconds
right now.
remaining.
This is just what he does. It doesn't even matter.
Reserve time.
Okay, we've got 1 pick left to go.
5 seconds remaining.
Shadow Demon is going to be the pick.
Look at that
Dire team
Enigma
pick.
pickup, Blitz. What a
I mean,
great call.
it was just for fun. Let's be real here.
Oh, okay.
Enigma is really good against keeping your heroes alive. And once they get Lena stunned, ooh-wee.
All right, we got the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon Razor combo.
Yeah, that is.
Drain their damage, disrupt them, sit on top of them for a while.
10 seconds
I remember once I had to play Lifestealer against Razor.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
5 seconds
it just shows you how terrible.
Was this like 10 patches ago
Yeah,
when
it was
Lifestealer was a hero?
You think Lifestealer's a hero? It's not. Razor's not really a hero either. And PA is gonna be the pickup. Okay, that's got to be Magnus PA. That's the combo that they're gonna choose to deal with the Phantom Lancer, a Matumba Man.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's a good response. That's a good pickup.
They also have the ability to Ancient Stack for the PA. Farm through that. Do you get Battle Fury in this game?
No. You're
dealing with a PL.
Yeah, but you just get Magnus.
Okay.
You get Bubble Hands. Magnus gives you the Bubble Hands.
He
gives you the Bubble Hands.
Is that what
Shout
it
out to
is?
Barney. Yeah.
Okay.
He gives you the Bubble Hands. You cleave. You get like a
10
You get like a
seconds
Helm of
remaining.
Dom, a Basher, and a BKB. You get Bubble Hands, then you two-shot the illusions.
5 seconds remaining.
The problem right there is going to be the Razor. Like, if the Razor has a really good start, that's not going to happen. Are we doing our system like on a point one? Like, you get more points for going 2-0 versus going 1-1? Like, you get 3 points as opposed to getting like 1 point per win? Can you explain the system for both me and the audience?
Are you serious right now?
Yes?
No, I'm not going to explain the system right now. I'm not going to explain the system to you, Blitz. Because I can't believe that you actually don't know the system. What is wrong with you? Are you serious? This is like our tournament. You don't actually know?
It's not my tournament.
What's wrong with you? It's just a joinDota tournament, and Blitz is over there. We're going like, I have no idea what's going on.
Dude, we had to cast ESL for like 9 hours for a day.
That was a long day.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to remember that.
And then you need to come in for 4 hours of casting. Blitz is over there like, keeps telling me every single time, 2 best of 3s is just too much.
It's a
like literally 2 series.
That's a while, if you think about it.
It's a half days of work.
I'm not used to working in my life, Cap. I'm not going to lie. You know what I did for my birthday? I sat in my bed and I watched Netflix for 9 hours straight instead of being productive.
Really?
Yep. My mom yelled at me for that once. Like, I got yelled at on my birthday for doing what I wanted, which was nothing. All right, so we have a pause here. They said try, but it looks like F umlaut Scientenf Jungs is still AFK.
You know, I've been living here, Blitz, for what, 2 years now? I still cannot, for whatever reason, taxi drivers just do not understand my address.
How do you, oh wait, you shouldn't say it out loud here.
Yeah, thank you. But every single time I go to them, I tell them it's just 2 years. 2 years of trying to say the same address. And I still get it wrong. German's such a hard language.
It is. It's actually, I was trying to learn it for like 3 days. No.
3 days.
It gave up. I know how to say wunderbar. And I know how to say super.
That's what you learned in your 3 days?
Yep. Those are all I remember.
Blitz, before he came to Germany, he's like, no, I'm going to learn German.
You know how I learned it? I watched the movie X-Men. And Kevin Bacon's character says, wunderbar.
You watched X-Men for 3 days?
I watched X-Men for 3 days. I watched the movie.
Did you just replay that same 2 scenes over and over again?
Wunderbar. It's a
Lord.
valid thing. Hey, this is a 5-man engagement. This isn't going to lead to anything. Nobody wants to commit to anything nowadays. And
Yeah.
Jarex is actually just out of mana. We might actually get gone on, especially if Hestajo decides to scale the skewer. I think he should.
Yeah, slow him
He's in
down an
range,
extra bit,
yeah.
or maybe it's not even needed. They've got the Ion Shell in range now. They're going to try and turn around, slow down Hestajo, but Jarex is definitely
Yeah,
dead
gotta
here.
kill for sure.
And First Blood actually goes to the CM, so Jarex just a bit overzealous there. They do get both bounty runes in the process. Or, wait, no. Lena actually got the other bounty rune. He managed to beat Razor to it, so It's only Mind Control, the top lane, the Earthshaker.
I mean,
who got
Mind
the other
Control's
one.
just chilling up here, thinking to himself, sick lane. And nobody's up here
One
for another
versus
minute.
0. The hardest off lane of my life.
I just got a bounty rune. Is this real life? Just gonna walk up here, see nobody. The PA even has to TP. That's lack of efficiency.
You know what I always feel like when I see these situations, though, it's the Earthshaker? I get this little ounce of dread. You don't know why?
Why?
Because now I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do well now.
Okay, so you falter under pressure. That's you're
No.
not a Sumail gamer.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Rise.
attack.
Oh, Light Strike Array doesn't actually miss. Mind Control still has a Fissure, though, and will be able to escape quite easily. Meanwhile, they did get a kill at the bottom lane. Crystal Main sneaking out. Still has not gone back up to that top lane. Looks like she's going to be hanging out here with the Crystal Nova first, really making sure the Darkseer does get a lot out of his lane.
That's rough too. That Matumba Man just dies there too. That's so much map control that they just took. And you've got Poison level 1, which is okay, I guess, but it's not really going to affect too much because you run out of mana so quickly.
Yeah, now he's going to be run down. Well, he does have 3 stacks. Honestly, Darkseer, you got to reconsider moving forward once you have 3 stacks of Shadow Poison on you.
How much will it do when it ends?
That it builds up so much.
It did like 50.
Especially now, well, I mean,
It did like nothing.
yeah, but it amplifies. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 are not all the same. I know you wouldn't know that being a Storm Spirit spammer only, but there are other heroes in the game.
Oh my god. These aren't... I will set up the studio, you think of the jokes. Like that's... Here are some that
I mean, I could do the same thing all
Here-
day long. Every single time
Oh,
Blitz
they're gonna go
Dota
on
mumbles
bottom.
out a joke, I could just be like, no, that wasn't a great joke.
Here are the jokes that are perceived to be good or unique. I'm not going to use the word dank. These are very arid memes. You can go for Chubby Merlini. You can go
Yeah,
for...
okay. I'm definitely not going that one.
You can go for 7k only Storm. Let's see. You can make fun of my vision because I have small eyes.
I
That's not a
mean-
racial thing. Like, I just have genuinely pretty small eyes.
I'm probably going to stay away from both of those.
You shouldn't, Cap. Be edgy.
No.
All right, can we actually cast this game and I can focus? Thank you very much. At bottom, they can't really
On
do
what?
much to this Darkseer. And he's actually just going to turn and fight. Like, they can't actually fight this. He's got the
Oh.
Disrupt, but look how much damage that does.
A couple more right clicks, they would have been able to finish off Jarek's. Matumba Man, they're going for the kill. A little bit more damage.
It's gonna-
Doppelganger away. He's good. Matumba Man escapes.
This lane still's pretty brutal, though. Like, the amount of
Yeah.
regen that they have to burn through and how much Matumba Man's taking damage.
Yeah, when the Darkseer comes back, he's just going to rule this lane. With no more regen left on Matumba Man.
The support.
How do you even build against a Darkseer dual lane like this?
You probably get a bottle,
Yeah.
which is what he's going to do.
Oh, great
You don't-
analysis. He already
You
had
can't
the bottle.
even do the normal build. Well, I wasn't clicked on him, Cap. This is what you do on a lot of the cores, though, when you're struggling and you can't afford your normal build.
Mm-hmm.
It's not efficient, and it slows you down. I think that's what Fog said, too, when... I can't remember who did it yesterday. It was Pasha.
Yep.
Had to go for it. It does slow you down, but it's still really effective.
How's this mid lane going? It's Razor sitting 18 and 10 compared to the 9 and 3 on Hez to Joe. Not really surprising though. I mean, it's a Razor versus a melee hero.
Yeah, the Magnus is getting okay-ish farm, but you expect that. It's a mag. You can't completely deny a mag from farm, but if anybody's going to get pretty close to doing so, it's probably going to be the Razor. Like, that's what Razor's known for, being an absolute lane dominator, and Mind Control actually misses the Fissure to block out the Magnus.
Matumba Man. He's going to have to burn through the rest of that bottle. And he only has really one more lance left too.
This is pretty dangerous, honestly.
Yeah, they still have so many magic stick charges on Darkseer. So he can actually be really aggressive, knowing that he's got that regen advantage over the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough lane for the PL, and I really like that they're actually contesting this really heavily. Because last game we saw how that went when they didn't end.
Oh, they're going to catch out the Crystal Main. They're going to burst her. Just go for the quick kill.
He's going to
Kuro
go for the turnaround.
may be in trouble here as he's going to be run down with the Iron
They're
Shell.
all
Great
out of
body
mana.
blocking, but Jarek's, he can only do so much of this one. He's actually committing for the kill here. Oh, double kill. Heston Joe lands that shockwave beautifully. And now they're going to run down Kuro as well. The Rhinoceros comes in and gets a triple kill. That's going to be a fast out of Arcane Boots.
I can't believe they didn't just ditch Kuro there. Like, they were both about to die to that. None of them had mana. You had a Doppelgang up on the Phantom Lancer, but you're probably not going to right-click kill a Darkseer who's just got Surge up in 2 seconds again.
Yeah.
And this this safe lane has just actually been destroyed right now.
And Jerix, can he actually get this kill if he blocks enough? And another spam. He may actually get this kill. It's going to be the wand. If he can get a fourth one. Oh, he gets it. Is that enough damage, though? It's going to do what? 280 damage. He's got 220 HP. Just barely lives through it. Mind Control's been hiding out for a little while now. They're searching for him. Rise knows that the Earthshaker's got to be around here somewhere, but...
He's playing a dangerous game right now. If he actually gets caught out,
yeah, he's...
there should be a free kill. As long as they save the stun on the Lina.
Yeah.
Like, he has to be aware of that. They don't have the burst damage to kill him naturally. So they just save the stun on the Lina, wait things out, but...
They're stacking that hard camp up so much.
Yeah. Laning-wise, too, this is going pretty successfully this time around.
Fada turned around on. Skewer's actually going to miss. He has no right-click damage whatsoever on the Magnus. So he's got to be careful here. They're going to turn on to him. Joe's dead.
That is so much damage.
He thought he could get off another shockwave to finish off Fada, but the control comes out from the telekinesis. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to try and body block up the Darkseer as much as possible. He has no more Surge left. And more Shadow Poison damage. Looks like he should be dying here this time around.
Oh, he's going to miss that last one, but the tick will kill him. Oh, Jerix, the creep!
Ooh.
6 health.
Barely lives.
Wasn't even worried.
Rise. He saw Mind Control coming. They've still got the Fissure. Will be able to block out Ace a little bit. Then Enchant Totem buys him a bit more time, but it looks like they're just going to dive the tower effortlessly.
That was almost a decent juke, but with 2 heroes there, almost no chance that he's going to get out of that. And this is a really dangerous lane for the Earthshaker. He has to be a lot more tentative of this, because it's not like he's level 6, which we saw yesterday when we saw the turnaround potential from Jonas and Fun when he was able to go for it, but this time around, not the same thing at all. And the Shadow Demon, he had like 4 HP and no mana left over, just goes to the suicide to the neutrals. I think that's the correct play, just to save some time.
Crystal Maiden still sitting. Oh, they're going to get the RP, brings it back almost to the tower range, but because he's not underneath the tower, this is going to turn bad. Disruption now gets laid on the Crystal Maiden. Fada stole 98 damage. He's just going to rip that poor Crystal Maiden apart. I'm really not sure what the game plan was there with the damage drain already going out on the Magnus, but he fully committed to try and push that Razor back to the Tier 1 tower.
And now you're starting to see some map control finally be taken back by 5 boys, and they're doing a really good job of keeping up.
Yes.
And this just isn't really... It wasn't really going well in the beginning, but they're starting to catch up, and this repeated pressure is still hurting the Phantom Lancer, but things are evening out a little, and it's almost like the Darkseer has focused too much on harassing and going for the dives instead of actually just getting his own farm. But
Matumba Man slowed out.
Low at bottom.
They are going to go for this kill, though. Mind Control's looping around the back. They're going to block out the Crystal Maiden. No escape there. Telekinesis push back. They've got a Lance as well. Crystal Maiden very dead. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they're going to rotate around behind Rise. Jerix, they start the damage drain. Put him in that disruption, and they should have enough damage, especially with the Light Strike Array being dodged. Fada picks up yet another kill. 2-0-1 now.
And he actually got, I can't remember, but I think at bottom when or in mid, they managed to pick up the huge spree of the Magnus that was recently gotten on the Rubik. So he's actually going to have a full earn despite the fact that he doesn't have a lot of levels. And this Razor's just doing really well, just because he hasn't really had a lot of pressure towards him. He's got a full Ring of Aquila and the bottle completed with the Magic Wand and Treads and 9 minutes. It's perfectly fine. At bottom lane, looks like they do want to go for the dive.
Yeah, but this is so awkward.
Even been committed for this.
They're committing their 2 cores down here in this lane.
But Man's out of mana, and he gets crit.
Double gang to the side. Will clear through a lot of the trees. Ace thinking about it, but now he's going to be caught by Mind Control. Stunned up underneath that tower with the Lance to finish him off. That just never seemed like a good idea. Mind Control pushing forward. Doesn't quite have his level 6.
Where's his team?
Enchant Totem, they need some help. Disruption gets laid down on the Darkseer to try and slow down that Ion Shell. And Mind Control will be able to get away. Now the wall completely misses. Fissure gets laid out, but it's too late. The support's already down, and now Joe goes for another one. With the Surge, we'll be able to catch up to Mind Control, and a nuke will finish him off.
Yeah, that was a little bit greedy by the Phantom Assassin. She got the crit, and she had to instantly go for it at that point.
Yeah. If
she wanted to go for the kill, but he hesitates for half a second, and he doesn't anticipate the crit coming in. There were no trees there either. I think if him and the Darkseer just commit for it, they could probably get the kill on it, but they're a little bit slow on the trigger, but it doesn't really matter because this Magnus is 5-1-1 and almost has a blink dagger committed, but Fada's got a haste rune up, and with this rune, they've got to be a little bit more careful about going for the dives at bottom, because you could just see him pop the haste and turn it around. And top, Kuro's actually set up. He's got one urn charge, so they've got some damage. They're probably going to wait for the Earthshaker to hit level 6 and maybe attempt something at top. Kuro's going to go wait behind. The creep is almost dead. He doesn't want to quite show himself yet, but that might actually have just spotted him out. And
as TP's out, there was a dive. The haste rune's going to come out. TP away from the Crystal Main. He seems to be good. It looks like our Magnus is also going to get out, but perhaps the one unlucky of the dire side is going to be our Darkseer. He's still got another surge. Fada keeping up though with that haste rune. Will eventually catch him with the plasma field.
Yeah, he's going to catch him at the lip too. This should kill him. One hit. That's what's scary about the dive too. Once the Razor has a haste rune, he kind of turns almost into the counter initiation hero. Like
Jerix just immediately gets critted up by the dagger. Jumped on by Ace. Another dagger out. Doesn't have the vision for it. And now he's actually a bit exposed. There doesn't seem to be any TPs.
They use them all for bottom.
A fifth Shadow Poison does land, and that takes away most of his HP. 600, and that's only level 3 Shadow Poison.
All right, I lied. I underestimated the damage.
Yeah.
No wonder Ace stopped the dive. He got hit one more time.
So dangerous.
That was actually ridiculous.
Especially now that it ticks up to 5.
Yeah, that was one more tick. He probably would have died there, but manages to get out. They're probably just waiting on this Magnus to have a blink dagger before they go for something really aggressive here.
They still have yet to, let's see, it looks like they farmed through that stack. They don't actually have any Ancients stacked up at all for the PA, the Empower.
That's probably just because of the amount of dives they've been going for, but you should still get some up. Otherwise, you're not really fully utilizing the combination, in my opinion. And they're just going to send the Shadow Demon right back up to top.
Mind Control's just heading on in there. He's got that ward spotting him out while they were farming up the hard camp.
He's had such a rough game. He still doesn't even have the Soul Ring up. Just the Tranquil Boots component.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty slow blink dagger at this rate.
At what point do you just say, let's just go for the blink? Do you still go for the Soul Ring?
I think you have to go for the Soul Ring. Unless it's one of those games where it's 25 minutes in and your base is about to be pushed. Yeah, maybe then you go all in for the blink dagger, but
it's much more efficient, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because you can jungle with that build too.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much HP and mana at all times.
Essentially, Arcane Boots Soul Ring is a farming combination. Like if I'm ahead, like I go Arcane Boots, right? But if I'm behind, I need to jungle.
Smoking in. They're going to find Fada too.
Fada slowed down with Frostbite. Will dish out a lot of damage onto that Crystal Main. The nukes are coming in from long range. They do have a Laguna Blade as well, but the Skewer on top. Disruption actually saves them from that damage, but they still have the RP if necessary, but it's not quite yet. Jerix is also going to be caught. He goes down. The support from Mind Control. He realizes there's nothing he can do to stop that one. The turnaround, though, is going to be from the 5 boys. Got Matumba Man pushing in that middle lane with the double damage, taking the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and he's finally starting to catch up when it comes to farm, but that was such a big kill from Danish Bears being able to pick off the Razor, who's got 6k net worth. You didn't really have to commit too much to it either. Like, this is a natural push because they're going to go for the tower at the same time.
RP threatened Kuro, gets the telekinesis, but it doesn't really matter. That just means he saved an RP still.
Yeah, that was weird, because I don't actually think he had to commit for that RP. Like, if he uses the Skewer, it accomplishes the same thing. Because his entire team's right there, and I'm actually surprised that Kuro was out that far, considering they know the RP hasn't been used yet, and everybody from Danish Bears is set up. And when you've got a core like Phantom Lancer this early in the game, with how underfarmed he is, he's not going to commit to a fight like that. So you can't really anticipate him coming in. In fact, he's probably going to go for the Boots of Travel and just farm. And if you're okay with that type of play, and you're okay with that type of build, then you probably just give up your tier 1 tower without too much hesitation.
Lena sitting behind Magnus right now. They see an opportunity. If Fada overextends himself, they can actually pick him off, but not going to happen. Looks like PA's going for the Yasha build. Mind Control being run down in the bottom lane by the Darkseer. Does throw out the wall, still has a vacuum as well. Mind Control is just trying to get some space. Pull back by the vacuum. A little bit more damage. Echo Slam will actually buy him enough stun time to perhaps get away. He uses all of the rest. He's going to have to run through the wall in order to get away from the Darkseer. There's no one to run, no one to hide. He has to back up, but at least he get Kuro the extra kill.
I think, does Kuro have lift available? I think he did.
Might have.
They probably should have. I think he should have just lifted, and there's like a 5% chance that the Earthshaker lives, but you still gamble with that, especially since it doesn't cost you anything. But it's going to be a 5-man push down mid, and sooner or later you maybe even go for the Roshan at some point.
Yeah.
Because you've got the PA.
I think there was also the question, like, if in order to get the telekinesis right, he would have to run through the wall.
But that's okay. You're
but
okay with
then he
that.
spawns an illusion, which then kills the Earthshaker. Right? Because he used Soul Ring, he's got 1 HP. A Rubik illusion could kill him.
Yeah, but it's a guaranteed death versus that.
No.
That's what I mean. And it's still only a Rubik illusion. Like, you can deal with that. Just right-click it once. I don't know. It probably, in the long run, didn't matter at all. But you've taken all the Tier 1 towers. You've got a PA on your team. At some point, you do want to go for the Roshan. You're not going to really get a medallion on one of your supports this early. Maybe the Lina can afford it instead of going for the typical Yule's build. I actually like that. I think that was what C-Deck used to do. Remember, like, they would have a Brood offlane, and they would still get a medallion if they were on dire side, just so they could go for the Roshan.
Yeah. Mech now finished up by the Darkseer. We didn't really talk about it, but mid lane during that action at bottom, they also picked off the Razor, which was quite huge. They took away that Tier 1 tower, and we actually now have an incursion into the enemy jungle by the Radiant side, but they're going to lose their Tier 2 tower. They're just avoiding team fights right now. I mean, it's been bad fight after bad fight, it seems like,
It's
for the 5 boys.
It's strictly just based on your Phantom Lancer. If you have a Phantom Lancer and you know he's going to just farm, you're losing towers, but that's something that you can make up later on in the game. Like, it's net worth that isn't permanent, right? Because if you manage to take 2 towers and come back into the game, you're fine. It's this high ground push at 17 minutes that should concern them right now.
Yeah,
they didn't expect this at all. Like, they're taking so much damage on this tower, and they don't have Glyph up too. Like, this is pretty absurd right now. Like, they definitely didn't anticipate this.
Kuro going to be skewered back to start with mind control. He doesn't even have the ultimate, so they just get a free pick off on Rubik to start things out. Now Fada moves forward, but a blink away. There goes that damage drain, instantly negated. And the Danish Bears may think about continuing to go uphill, though that would be so dangerous.
That was so weird that they just decided to go for that high ground. Like, you can tell that 5 boys had no idea what was going on. They're like, wait, you have no Aegis and you don't have a high ground you don't have a high ground hero? Like, you've got a Phantom Lancer and a Magnus hitting a tower, and you're still willing to go high ground? And they did, and they actually managed to pick up a kill, and they get that tower quite low. The Roshan is still an opportunity for them, and they could just use that to go for the high ground if they want. And that's what 5 boys is pinging for. But you can't take a Roche fight against a Magnus and a Darkseer at this phase of the game. You're behind too much gold.
Ace going in on mind control. Does have the Echo Slam if he wants to stop this one, but he doesn't want to lose it just yet. He does have some support app, but Kuro's not going to be able to stop it. In fact, if anything, Ace might go for more. He's got another jump, 1 second time, but they decide against it.
Yeah, this might just be high ground for them.
Yeah, if a smoke up, pick off. Fada jumps too far forward here.
This is so weird right now.
Yeah.
So you don't usually see this. Like, even 5 boys thought they were going to go for the Roshan, but instead they just go for the immediate bottom push. That's why it looks a little bit awkward when mind control is down there, when you're thinking to yourself, oh, everybody's on the map. But it's just because they don't have vision of their own jungle, and that's because Danish Bears have done a really good job of keeping vision up at all times.
Darkseer about to finish up his Blink Dagger, I presume. More grouping mechanisms for the PA to take advantage of with that splash damage from Magnus. TP out. Kuro's going to be a bit late to that one. But are they going to be able to find the Danish Bears attempting to do Roshan? They might have just seen that TP out and assumed, like, oh, well, if the Darkseer is TPing up to the top lane, they're probably not Roshing. But they would be completely wrong about that. Roshan down to 2k HP.
There's actually nothing that they can do about this. You can't fight blind into RP. If you're wondering, well, why don't they contest Roshan? Well, because you don't know where the Magnus is. And if
even
you get RP,
with
you lose.
Even with a 4 versus 5, you just not an option.
Because you have no idea.
He also doesn't have Boots of Travel up. Brings back the Crystal Maiden. Kuro got to be very, very careful here. He's got Ace coming in. The RP locks down 2. And now Ace is going to go to town, slowing down Fada. Ace going to be half HP already. Maybe Fada can actually fight this one. And Ace jumps himself away, not wanting to stick around close quarters with Fada. Dotan comes in from the side. Going to be able to throw off the wall, deal a little bit of extra damage to Fada. And the rest of his team is going to start backing him up. If they commit to the Darkseer kill, they're going to be in range of the PA, and that's not where they want to be. Ace now given the extra surge. She's going to jump in. Mind control TP's out. They now turn to Jerix, who runs himself to the middle lane. Ace, if he gets the vision, he'll be able to dagger him just ahead, but a surge will now allow him to jump Jerix.
Oh, that damage, too, is just brutal.
Yeah.
She's got an S and Y, and when she has the Ion Shell in her, there's almost no hero that can really compete. And on top of that, you've got the Empower. And you've got a mech up to back her up. There's just too many abilities.
Do you think Ace should have committed for Razor a bit more?
Not really.
I mean, he had the Aegis, right?
linked.
Yeah.
There's too much damage, but this might be...
Yeah, he jumps in a bit far. Kuro drops low. CM's actually able to finish him off. Nicely played. Danish Bears seem to be quite adept at striking incredibly hard in the first 20 minutes.
They're just running at them right now. And it's offbeat, too. Like, there are a few times where you think to yourself, okay, the usual play here is to go for the Roche when they've got map control like this, and then they go for a bottom tier 3 push without any high ground heroes. Like, it's almost working because it doesn't really, it's not the typical play that you see out of a team, and that's why it's throwing off the 5 Boys so much, because they're thinking to themselves, okay, we'll just play the high ground game, and we'll go for the split push, because after they take our tier 2 bottom, they'll just go for Roshan. But that's not what happened at all, and it's just kind of throwing off the rhythm of the game so far for 5 Boys, I feel. And this is just really good play overall by Danish Bears, just kind of keeping things offbeat at all times.
Rise doesn't have the light strike array. Run. He was working towards the Aghanim Scepter too. Matumba Man going to be able to definitely dodge that one. Vacuum actually puts them back. Oh, a little bit more damage to Illusion. It gets him in the end. Matumba Man able to finish up
he might just pay for this, though.
Yeah, Doppelganger to the side. PA has already made that jump. Needs one. Another 4 seconds. They do have the Ion Shell as well. He's going to go for Jerix instead. Seems to be an easier guaranteed kill. Especially with the CM dropping the ultimate there.
They use Wall for that, too.
Yeah,
that's
double ults.
surprising.
I think CM was like, you know what, this is a guaranteed kill, and if I actually get the last hit, which he did, I'm really close to Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, and that's going to be another high ground mechanism for them. They don't have Solar Crest or anything like that, and I think part of the reason why is because you've already got a PA when you're high grounds. So going for something like
control?
the Glimmer Cape.
Did he just get caught here? He just got caught.
Frostbite
Frostbite jump in from Ace on the other side of the cliff. And they're simply just not split pushing fast enough to be able to take advantage of this very aggressive play from the Danish Bears.
No, not at all. It's not even like they're losing anything for any of this.
Yeah.
Like, they got that nice kill on the Lina at bottom, but what else have you really done?
I feel like Matumba Man has been in this top lane for the last, 8 minutes, and the tier 2 tower is still only down to half HP.
Yeah, we saw it briefly at bottom just to go for the Lina kill, but aside from that, you're completely right. He's just playing the jungle in that top area.
He's running to Jerix. The disruption is there. Crystal Man going to try and slow him down. Ace, though, I think very smartly, is going to try and dive in for the kill. They do need to try and utilize this Aegis, which I think is why the Danish Bears are going to start grouping up in middle lane. They managed to push back that split push at the top lane. See if they can't force a fight now.
I'm surprised they're going for middle considering how low bottom is.
Look at these mass counter wards. 4 different counter wards all in this jungle area, and even a ward paired up with it.
You have to do it to try to get control of your jungle again. It's so important at this phase of the game because you need to be able to spot for the rotations in. You can't just let people assault you and get out for free.
Yeah.
It's actually significant.
Pulled back. Crystal Maiden actually misses the nuke there as the disruption goes out. Jerix is still going to be bursted, though. Response, Mind Control managed to get a 2-man Fisher, but nobody else is really there to capitalize on that one.
He is so close to his Blink Dagger.
Bottom lane, as to Joe, wanted to be able to catch the quick skewer. That tier 3 tower is almost dead. In fact, Ace looks like he's going to commit for it now.
This is what we were talking about. Go for the bottom one instead of the mid one.
Yeah,
makes so much more sense.
That Glimmer Cape is going to come in really handy. Both him and the both the Crystal Main and the Darkseer have Glimmer Cape.
Oh, the Earthshaker has... The Earthshaker has it now. And the PA's Aegis is dead. They have to run. This could have been a really good opportunity if 5 Boys was ready to go in like 5 seconds faster.
Yeah.
Because the PA Aegis just faded, and she was even in their base during that time. Like, I think you don't wait for the Earthshaker there. You actually just commit with your team, and then have the Earthshaker come in when Danish Bears is not really thinking for a second. That tends to be what happens when you're wondering, like, how did they manage to get a 5-man RP or a 5-man Echo. It's because there's so much happening in a chaotic team fight that it's hard to communicate exactly where you're going to move. And then you group up for 1 second and all get hit.
Skewer back. Kuro going to be brought over the cliff there. And, counter skewer Kuro! He almost survives because of that one. Maybe you just put Hesta Joe in a bad place. Purge goes out. Force Staff, though, will be able to get him some more distance. Mind Control comes in. 3-man Fissure. Vacuum to turn things around, though, with a wall right next to it. Fada, oh, he's frostbitten up. They still have that RP if they want to continue this one out. Darkseer's completely out of mana, though.
They just don't have enough damage, though, to deal with all 3 of the cores on the side of Danish Bears. And they have the Glimmer Cape, too.
Oh, that's good, Fissure. Kind of blocking out Doten. We'll make sure he takes some more damage. Hesta Joe waiting on the RP. He knows Fada's here, but he wants a little bit more. It looks like he's going to skewer forward, looking for something now. Turns around. Perhaps has to go for the RP. No, he's going to force Staff out. BKB from Ace. They're actually going to be able to eliminate Fada now. He's got a buyback in 60 seconds now. A 2-man RP. Turn around, though. Kuro's actually stole the RP and gets Hesta Joe inside of it. Ace still comes forward, though. Jerix is dropped low, but they're getting dangerously near those tier 4 towers. Ace jumps back. They brought both the racks down to half HP, but Fada starts surging forward. Speaking of surge, Darksteel will use to be able to get out. And it looks like they can't commit to the racks any further. They managed to force out a buyback on Fada. But I think they're going to be pretty happy with the way that fight went.
Oh, definitely. They don't even lose a hero for that. They force the buyback on the Razor. They get both the racks to half. They didn't even have to do it with an Aegis necessarily, and they've just taken complete map control. And if you're noticing, the 3 cores are just so tanky. Like, the Magnus doesn't even have to have an ideal RP for them to win the team fight at this point. And you even saw Kuro steal it, but he was only able to get it off back onto the Magnus because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger of his own. So there's so few things that Danish Bears has to worry about. You've got a core that's a Razor that has 0 burst damage. The only burst damage that you really have, I guess, is the Echo Slam from the Magnus. And that's what you need to deter pushes like this. Like, you need to be able to just burst one hero down, force a 4v5, and just say, okay, we have to go back. But the Phantom Lances don't really do anything just because you've got a Darkseer that's constantly healing them up. And whenever they fly, you've got 2 Glimmer Capes on the side of Danish Bears as well that limit the damage. And they actually have 3 Glimmer Capes. They have 3 Glimmer Capes and a Yules. It's so hard to actually deal damage right now to them. And Roshan's going to spawn in 2 minutes too. And once that happens, how do you actually hold the high ground?
3-man Smoke leading the way, and Phantom Lancer just TP'd middle. This would be a great pickoff. They do not have... Oh, Smoke actually popped Ace. Kind of spilled that one, it looks like. They didn't have RP yet. I'm not sure what that Smoke was really supposed to do without the RP. Would it seem safer to wait for that?
They're probably just trying to establish control again before the Roshan. Because that's what 5 Boys is trying to do at the same time. They're just trying to buy time before Rosh spawns, but I don't even know if they have enough time for that. Like, there's going to be a weird time period where you want to get aggressive if you're 5 Boys, but you can't really give up the Roshan at the same time.
Level 3 coup de grace is up now for the Phantom Assassin.
Does she have any more items? She's got 2,400 gold. What do you think,
SNY,
Basher?
BKB, yeah, gotta be Basher, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty standard, and there's a lot of mobility between the PL and the Razor that you have to deal with.
Maybe Helm of Dom if she wants to sustain.
She's got Helmet Dom.
She just picked it up.
Oh, okay.
She sold her TP for it?
Oh, okay. That's a bit dangerous, but...
It probably doesn't matter. When you're playing this aggressively, it's kind of irrelevant-ish, as long as you send 1 or 2 heroes to deal with top.
It's a 5 Boys thinking that if there's a push at bottom lane, they're just going to all in top, or are they just trying to bait out Matumba Man?
Well, you have to play around your Phantom Lancer when he's your highest net worth hero at this point. But it just becomes a little bit difficult when you don't really have the net worth to back it up, and you don't have the burst damage on your team either. If you look at the lineup for Danish Bears, they've got so much burst damage. And they've even got things that... they've even got like the advantage in the team fight just because they have 2 major abilities that you have to avoid. Maybe even the Crystal Maiden ultimate is an issue at this point.
Is this one of those times where you should buy a gem because you're trying to play so aggressively and limit map control?
Yeah, literally as you said it.
Yeah.
Good point to bring up.
CM.
That's what Fog said yesterday, right?
Yeah. He said that he feels like he doesn't pick up gem early enough because it's just, you know, especially, you know, support, especially a hard 5, you're like 900 gold. That could start working me towards a Force Staff, Glimmer Cape,
when you're 5-3 and 13, you've taken out most of the towers, and you've gone to Roche, though. You got gold.
Yeah, you
can afford a gem.
You got plenty to spare.
There's nothing, the way that I look at it, and I talked to a few people about it, there's no other item as a support that'll mean as much.
Yeah.
If you can keep a gem alive for 3 minutes even, it's like 2 sets of wards that you can de-ward that are significant.
All right, Roshan, round 2. 5 boys are not contesting. They're instead just trying to get control. You could see Mind Control takes out one wave while on the other side, Kuro joins his creep wave to take out another. Just pushing as fast as humanly possible.
They're just trying to build up net worth for the next inevitable fight.
Yep.
You have to at this point. You can't contest the Roshan.
You got to start saving buyback, right?
Yeah, exactly. It goes even beyond that. It's about being able to have that one ideal fight where you've got everything that you can. You don't want to wait for an item. You don't want to be 400 gold away from an item before this next push, right?
Tier 2 tower does get taken out as well, so that'll help bolster the net worth of the 5 boys a bit better.
It's actually only around 13k net worth.
Speaking of, 400, 500 gold away, Kuro almost has his Blink Dagger.
That'll be huge. If he can steal RP and turn it around on the PA, that's one of the few ways they have to deal with her.
All right, the bottom lane push is coming.
They're just trying to keep all the lanes pushed in.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Darkseer doesn't have Boots of Travels, but they're still going to let this go. They're still going to try and push uphill. Maybe just trying to force TPs back.
Once they see the PL, they're going to come. They're all just going to run down.
Yeah.
They're going to wait for their Darkseer, because once the PL shows themselves at bottom, then they know. They're like, okay, just wait for a second.
Yeah.
You can't go back top.
Yeah. So that they no longer have to worry about that top lane. Darkseer starts surging his way all the way over. Between Surge and Blink Dagger, it actually doesn't take too long, but now as Shiva's is up for Fada. And he does not have buyback still, based off time, so I fully understand the buyout now. It would have, even if he kept that gold, it still would have been a minute.
It's pointless too, because it's really your Phantom Lancer that's going to be your huge damage dealer for you.
Yeah.
And probably more importantly than that, it's the Shivas can make a difference. Like, he runs in, hits everybody with the Shivas. That's not an insignificant amount of damage.
Yeah. All right, so they're healing each other up. They still have the mech to throw down. Doten actually doesn't have Guardian Greaves just yet. He jumps in, looking for the vacuum, but actually held up by the telekinesis. Pulls Kuro back, but that's it. Only Surge stolen. No big deal there. But
it's a pretty big wasted vacuum.
Yeah. Probably means they have to wait for the next creep wave.
This is taking so long for them. They've got to get... they're feeling a little bit antsy. And this is what you want if you're 5 boys, is to force Danish Bears to kind of be like, what do we do here? We're meant to go high ground. This was easier 5 minutes ago. And it looks like they're actually just going to stop this push. This might just be a wasted Aegis at this point.
I mean, this could be him just healing up from lifesteal and them going back. Phantom Lancer's now showed himself in the top lane. Can they just barrel down bottom, knowing that PL can't come back right away?
Yeah, you go for it right now. Like, they're pinging right now because they know. And Matumba Man will have it up in 30 seconds, which is a pretty short period of time. Like, he might even just continue to go for the push, because they've got Glyph up. Yeah, you just continue to go for the push. Like, screw it.
Two-man vacuum, wall gets laid out. Now the BKB pops, full committal here, and there goes... Oh, man, he just disappeared. Jarex is gone. Ace, though, committed the BKB for only a support. They really got to take out this melee Rax, but Ace wants to be able to go for the kills. Finally, the Aegis will fall. Ace dives in, but does create enough space for his allies to almost finish off that melee Rax. They're going to block off Ace as best as possible. Still can jump to his ally. Melee Rax does fall. Meanwhile, the top lane, Matumba Man is committing heavily. They're just going to lose this bottom lane of Rax and see if he can take one in return. Tier 3 tower gets glyphed up. Now it's a question, are they all going to escape on the side of Danish Bears, and can they get back in time to defend?
Cancel TPs.
Kuro jumps forward, blink. Oh, Vacuum actually buys some time for the other TP to go out, and now the Crystal Maiden turns things around with the Crystal Maiden ultimate. Oh, Ace comes in, able to take out one. It goes for Vada as well. Where's the crit? Not quite getting. Now his damage is being stolen. Jumps in once again, but he's losing all of his damage. He didn't get a critical, and Vada's going to be able to escape because of that. Doten now getting away. Never mind. Disruption buys some time. They're going to surround him and take him out, but they did not get nearly as much as they needed. They lost their laner Rags. They only took the tier 3 at the top lane, and they only picked up one pickoff.
I think that's okay-ish, though, because you've committed some BKB charges from the PA, and you got so much time on your Phantom Lancer to farm. Like, he actually just got 4k gold, as a result of that push, and they were going to lose that Rax no matter what. Like, they had to commit the Echo Slam just to stop the Phantom Lancer's Aegis.
Yeah.
And so, it's about fighting with your absolute max amount of farm for that one fight. And is it worth it to use that one max amount of farm on a Phantom Lancer that only has a Diffusal and a Manta? No way. You wait for one more major item, and that's okay, because now there won't be an Aegis, and Matumba Man gets even more time to farm, especially if Danish Bears decide to wait for the next Aegis. And
do you think they should? Oh, they can jump on the PA here. Telekinesis is already locking him in, and they're going to be able to chain stun him really well. Ace unlikely to survive through this. BKB teleport out. Is he going to make it? Oh, not enough misses. They had no MKBs, but still, they just managed to beat down the PA anyway.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, opportunities start to arise. The BKB timer starts to get low. That's a 7-second BKB now on the Phantom Assassin. You do have 2 RPs from the Magnus, but at some point you're going to have to deal with this Phantom Lancer who's got a fully completed heart now. Like, think about how much more dangerous he is now. At that top fight, if they had decided to fight at bottom, all he has is a Diffusal and a Manta.
Yeah.
There's actually no way for them to hold.
He could easily just get bursted by 1 disable and PA jumping on him.
Yeah, if he gets crit twice, he's dead, regardless of his team. And so this is such a better idea to fight when you've got the max amount of farm that you can possibly have.
Fisher kind of blocks out Hesta Joe, but he's going to be good. Shivas just came in for the Darkseer, and they will defend their tier 1 tower, it looks like. PA does have a buyback and can TP in if there's a really good fight, but they'd much rather hold on to the buyback and the tower at the same time.
You can't go for the buyback. You can't afford it.
Yeah.
Not for a tier 1 tower at bottom.
Yeah, especially since he's getting pretty close to that Abyssal Blade. And that kind of lockdown is going to be so significant against a hero like Razor.
They've been getting kited around so much in the fights at bottom.
Yeah.
Like, that Rax push took 3 or 4 minutes longer than it had to. But 5 boys are in so much better of a position than they were just 5 minutes ago even. Their Phantom Lancer just has huge amounts of farm. He's already built up another 1,300. Like, he just completed the heart not 3 minutes ago. And he's already built up 1,300 gold not even 2 minutes ago, actually. And they didn't even take the tower at bottom. He just farms faster than anybody. He's got 3k net worth more than the Phantom Assassin, to give you perspective.
Oh, they also have the break mechanic from the Shadow Demon Aghanim's. If he can actually farm up another 1,800 gold, it applies break to the PA.
Yeah, exactly. And the PA 7-second BKB, it feels like nothing.
Yeah. Especially when you're being slowed down.
That's a good point, though. That Shadow Demon Axe is actually ridiculous.
It's 3 charges, right?
Yeah.
So you throw it on him once, he BKBs. You throw it on him again, who cares?
He's going to walk through Sludge.
Oh.
It's going to be amazing.
You probably have to wait on Abyssal, right? Like, you go for the tier 2, but you don't push uphill. You get Abyssal and Aegis, and then you have to end the game there, or else PL takes over.
You do have 2 RPs from Hestajo, which is going to help. And look at how much damage the PA does. Like, add in... He's got the Empower, but add in once he gets the Abyssal Blade.
Yeah.
But they do have to be a little bit careful right now. That's 1,200 crit.
1,200 without the Abyssal complete.
Alright, he does okay for himself right now.
At tier 2 tower. Looks like, oh no, they are going to fight this one. Jump in, Echo Slam. Oh, Hesta Joe, he actually got stunned in right as he came in. RP gets laid out. Kuro actually stole it. What's he going to be able to do? Lockdown Ace, that's what he wanted. Still, the Crystal Main ultimate goes out. Matumba Man doesn't really care too much. Managed to dodge that Light Strike array. But here comes PA. Jumps in with the critical. But they don't know which one is the real one. They'd rather just back out. They got 2 kills. And all they lost was Hesta Joe.
Oh, that was so unlucky by Hesta Joe. He blinks in and he gets caught. At that
what did he get stunned by? A telekinesis drop?
Yeah, I think so. Because it wasn't the enchant totem, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But still, they've got... the Phantom Lancer are still kind of difficult to fight. But you've got so many different ways. Did you notice he crits him once when he has the Ion Shell and the Cleave on him, the bubble hands? And he just destroyed that Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, PL once, and he was just like, nope. Like, he just, like, tanked up a whole CM ultimate and everything else, but 1 critical from Ace with all that splash damage.
I think you need
nope.
a butter of your own now in Phantom Lancer. If you just want to go for maximum tankiness. But he's got to be careful right now. If he just gets jumped on by the Abyssal Blade, he would die so quickly. 1,800 crits with DD.
Yeah.
It's kind of close to the bubble hands. Montama Man, though, is still the most farm person in the game. There's just a time period right now where the Phantom Lancer is or the Phantom Assassin is stronger because of everything that our team can use to buffer up. Like, you've got the Ion Shell damage, which is still pretty significant, and the Empower is just ridiculous.
If the PL gets enough money, can complete Butterfly, but doesn't have a buyback, is the evasion that significant?
I guess not. Maybe he just wants more overall stats, or maybe even more damage. It might be time for him to go for something like an MKB, would be pretty good.
How's that Shattered even doing for Ags? 2/3 of the way there.
He's getting close. That is
1K gold left.
That's a really weird thing that you brought up.
3/4, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, is that even a thing? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, you're completely right. You're actually correct.
Did they pick Shadow Demon after the PA? No, PA was last pick.
Yeah.
They did it with the Razor.
At first you were thinking to yourself, that was a weird pick, but then it...
Yeah.
The PA is making more and more sense, because he doesn't even care about the drain from the Razor.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even affect too much.
Aegis picked up. Cheese on the ground. Hester Joe will gladly take that one. See if he can't get that double RP out.
Alright, so you've got 2k gold on Ace, you've got the Aegis completed on him, and there's a cheese now, too, and Hester Joe actually has an invis. The smoke breaks. They know something's up. They don't have a sentry, though. The smoke attempt's gonna fail.
Yeah.
It was a good smoke attempt. What they were going for is they knew they would split up after that, because somebody has to deal with top.
Right. Perfect opportunity to see if you can get a pick off. Delay Danish Bears just a bit more.
Exactly. How do you battle up against 2 racks down when you've got a double RP Magnus? It's just a ticking time bomb at that point.
Yeah.
Like, he can go for the push 4 times in a row. If he hits 1 RP on 3 of you, you lose the game.
Aghanim Scepter now for the Razor. Instead of AC, that for me, it's like Ags or AC. Which one do you really go for? Do you double down on more armor and give your allies a better fighting chance? Or do you start getting that ability to really whip out a lot of damage with your ultimate?
I mean, he already has so much armor.
Jerks, he'll Bissell him. Mind Control, can they get him too? RP being faked out. Doesn't look like they may need it. Mind Control is just trying to buy time in order to blink away, but that's not going to happen. Yules and Light Strike Array, they found the pickoff they needed. Instant buyback from Mind Control. He knows with 2 heroes down right on the side of the base of the 5 boys, the Danish Bears are very likely to try and push, but actually being stalled up a little bit. Top lane was being pushed in. Darkseer's going to deal with it now. He does have Boots of Travel as well as Guardian Greaves, so he can actually deal with that Phantom Lancer push and still be there for the team fight, but doesn't look like Danish Bears are going to try and take advantage of anything. I mean, the buyback already being forced, I guess.
You just play patiently at this pace.
No.
They've still got significant advantages when it comes to the farm on their overall spread out cores. Like, even the Lena's starting to catch up when it comes to farm. So you can just kind of relax, wait things out. Because if you lose a fight against a Phantom Lancer and a Razor who decided to go for Naganims, the game could just completely turn on you. Like, PL can take down towers so quickly, and he is going to go for the Butterfly. And I said this choice earlier, and I still agree with it. Maybe it's actually just a talisman into an MKB or something like that too.
Yeah.
But I think a Butterfly, at least through the evasion against the Phantom Assassin, because she's the only one that kills you.
Yeah. All right, the push forward. Danish Bears seeing if they can even out this series. Gonna close it out 1-1. Glimmer Cape being placed on Ace, just giving him that extra bit of tankiness. Because they know the 5 boys are just gonna try and magic damage spam their way out until they find an open. As to Joe sitting on the side, but the PL Illusions will spot him out. They stall up the push a little bit more. Illusion after illusion being run at. But Ace now sees his opportunity. Disruption gets laid out. Vacuum wall, managed to catch some. Are they going to use this for space to hit the tower? Looks like it. They actually back themselves away. A bit too dangerous. Those illusions are just being so annoying. They just keep running out there and dealing out bits and bits of damage.
It's the mana burn that's the most annoying part about it.
Fortunately, they do have Guardian Greaves still up. So they can heal a good amount. Hesta Joe pops his Shadow Blade, sits on the side just like he was before, waiting for his opportunity. 5 boys have to make some sort of commitment to stop this push out from Ace, but once they do, that's what has to go. He's going to try and strike. Oh no, the telekinesis push back, and now he's going to be kind of stuck. Shockwave is stolen. Hesta Joe immediately skewers back out. His jump, I'm not sure if he thought those illusions. One of them was actually the real PL, but he's got to be kind of happy that that telekinesis stunned him up. Otherwise, he would have wasted an RP.
Yeah, and that was such an awkward position to be in. What Crow's waiting for right now is for him to commit, use the RP even in a situation like that, and you're lifted at the same time.
Disruption right as he jumps onto Jerix. Couldn't quite get it. Now the RP catches out too. Ace comes forward, managed to get the immediate bash onto Jerix, but Kuro's actually going to be able to get some distance. Heads to Joe, Bing bursting down, Echo Slam on top of all of that. Ace is having all of his damage stolen away too. He turns on Fada, gets the bash, but he has no more damage left. Even with the criticals, it means nothing.
Oh, they're abandoning Ace too. They need to actually help him out, but they don't actually have
Rise comes forward, he jumps in. Disruption actually will save. Fada looks like, oh, he barely survives. Great defensive play. Curl jumps forward, tries to grab the Darkseer, but can't quite get him. And full retreat now as the Danish boys, they lose their best opportunity to be able to close out this game. Now they have to wait on next Roshan or try and push uphill without the Aegis.
That's so rough. Ace needs some amount of help, and they have to burst down the Razor there, but they just weren't able to. Like, he's incredibly tanky. 2300 HP, 30 armor. Like, how do you actually kill that hero? I think there's still a Ring of Aquila on the Phantom Lancer too, so he's just bumping up his team a little bit more. On top of that, yeah, he's giving him like 31 armor total on a Razor. Like, the Phantom Assassin is trying to kill him first because he realizes the Razor's an issue, but the Razor has the Shivas too to slow down the attack speed. So what do you actually do if you're the Phantom Assassin? Because you're running into a Razor. Nobody really dies on the side too. You have to be so worried if you're the Magnus. He actually got his RP stolen, by the way, by the Rubik, and that's what was actually enabled them to go for that fight. And Mind Control hits a really good Echo Slam. And you're running out of opportunities now if you're Danish Bears, because the Phantom Lancer throughout all of this is living.
Yeah, and he can actually complete the butterfly soon and still have a buyback.
Yeah, that's what he's going for right now. Okay, he's got more than enough gold.
This'll come in handy.
161 surplus.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yep. Finishes it up. That butterfly. Those Phantom Assassin or Phantom Lancer illusions are going to be a pain to deal with. That's Aegis cheese, and you still couldn't win that fight. They're just not able to get the double RP off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, slows down. Ooh, 4 staff. Trying to get him closer in order to get the catch, but Personal Maiden doesn't want to be here anymore. Looks like he's building towards a Lotus Orb. We'll see if that's actually ever complete. Depends on whether or not Danish Bears try and go for the push now or sit back, farm up, and wait for the next Roshan. And it seems like they're going to spend their time farming. Does Ace have to complete an MKB of his own now?
Yeah, he does. That's his next item for sure.
Okay, so they farm up, wait for that Aegis. Man, that's probably going to mean, though, that our PL is either going to be able to build his next item. Scotty could be the MKB that you were talking about.
Yeah, an MKB of his own would be pretty big. Even a BKB at this point wouldn't be bad. So
why is that?
Because the lean ult, or actually no, it'd be kind of useless.
Okay.
The CM ult kind of hurts him, but I was thinking the Lina ult, but the Lina has an Axe now. MKB would probably be the choice here. Okay. Or Scotty, if you just want to go for the all-out, I can't die build. It's not like they lack for damage.
Ace will be able to finish up his completed MKB now.
Who's got the cheese? Did they use it?
I think they used it. Hesta Joe was in there pretty deep, so
they're gonna get another one in 30 seconds, and this is the opportunity. Like, if you can't push with this, then things start to get ugly, because the Phantom Lancer has one more major item and room to grow,
right?
And the Razor's got a lot of items to go to. And you've only got one core. That's the scariest part. You've got one core on the Phantom Assassin. The effectiveness of your other cores are finally going to start to fade out a little bit.
Yeah. Unless they hit that perfect wombo combo. Rubik is actually the one to complete the Lotus Orb first.
Strength renewed and purpose with it.
So what's your idea with this one? Just bounce back the Laguna Blade? Is
Yeah.
that the best thing that can happen for you there? Is there anything that can happen with the PA? What happens if you PA jump onto a Lotus Orb? Does the opposing hero also get attack speed?
I'd imagine so. That's how it works with Focus Fire, I believe.
Yeah.
What happens with the steal? Do you know if the CM gets the Lotus Orb and he casts it on himself and the Rubik tries to steal?
I'm presuming Crystal Maiden doesn't steal a spell, but that would be... It's an interesting conundrum.
All these new items that I don't ever get to see. Like, I don't ever get to see Lotus Orb in play.
Ice Frog, please allow spell steal.
That'd be hilarious.
All of a sudden, that hero just gains spell steal for the rest of the match.
Magnus has spell steal.
Magnus simultaneously ravages and RPs.
That would be
because he
insane.
stole it.
All right.
What are we waiting on here, Blitz?
You are probably waiting on... let's look at items. Well, you could wait on a Hex from the Darkseer. That'd be a really significant pickup. Because everybody from 5Jungs has been greedy and not getting one. I understand why they didn't grab one. Just because if you're behind in a game like this, I advocate not going for the BKB if you can help it. But going for a Hex would definitely upset the balance. I'm not sure what else. Could wait for like... there's not too much. You've got the double RP available. The Lina is pretty much everything she needs. CM's got her Lotus Orb flying to her. Alright, you've got everything. You're completely stacked up.
Okay. Not going to wait on the Scythe of Ice, it looks like. I'm going to keep going in nonetheless. Lincoln's placed on PA, Lotus Orb to fall, I'm sure.
You Lotus Orb her and then send her high ground so that the Razor can't static link you. I'm sure that's the play.
You just rinse and repeat. Lincoln's, forward, back.
Yeah.
Lotus Orb, forward, back.
It's hard though. She doesn't have lifesteal, and these Phantom Assassin illusion or Phantom Lancer illusions are just targeting everybody else.
Oh, he actually jumps in, goes straight for Terex. Will be able to get that kill now. Pops the BKB, but will die in the process.
This is
Maybe
awkward.
should have waited. And
Messenger
those
Rod's being forced back.
yeah, now he's going to be
He's stuck. He
controlled
doesn't
without a
have
BKB. He's going to be in some serious trouble. That's why they jump forward now. Hester Joe looking for that RP desperately, but it's having all of his mana burned away from him. He now skewers onto Fada, but still not popping that RP. He's in danger of dying without using it at all. The lance goes out. A couple more right clicks. Looks like Matumba Man wants the kill, and they'll get it too. He jumps forward now, seeing the bait now. Will be able to jump on a rise quite easily. Looks like Ace is just trying to escape at this point in time. Lincoln's bought him some time. He turns, immediately bashes up. Fada double bash. Can he get this kill? Another critical. He gets it. Unbelievable. Ace now locked down by the ultimate. Can Ace turn this around at all? He doesn't have a lifesteal. They eat the cheese. Ace manages to heal up. He gets the Rubik as well underneath the wall. Matumba Man has to jump himself away, but Ace, hot pursuit, gets the bash. He gets the bash. Matumba Man locked down. Critical. He falls. Immediately buys back. Ace, they have Hester Joe now, and they have double RP. This is going to be 2 buybacks used and a 4 versus 4. Danish Bears might just be able to close out this series with a win.
I think they go for it just because they know that the Phantom Assassin can boots of travel and come back into the fight too. And both...
Oh, jumps on Fada. They immediately RP. They don't care. They're going to try and jock him down as much as possible. He does have a refresher. He's going to pop it here and try and use another RP. Skewer, he's burned out of mana. He won't be able to get the RP off. Jump in. Fada gets bashed up again. Ace gets the kill. 1 versus 2 though. Got his mind control and he just gets obliterated. Jump away. Junks, he's desperately trying to get onto Ace. Lotus Orb, turn around. Doppelganger. He's trying to run him down. Ace, oh, can he actually get out of this one? The heal. That Lance, it's still not enough. Ace is going to be able to get out of this one now. Matumba Man just turns to go for the Crystal Main. He's actually TPing back. The throne, it's in trouble. It's only got 2,600 HP. Danish Bears. They keep on going forward. The Darkseer, he's just trying to keep these pushes alive, but the rest of his team is backed up. It seems like we're still at a stalemate.
I don't know about that because Ace has a fully completed Satanic and 4,300 gold to back himself up too. And he could just afford to go for the AC and sell the S and Y at this point. And He had some fortuitous moments in that fight.
Oh, we certainly
bash,
did.
The crits.
Fada's got to be shaking his head at the number of bashes and crits he received.
Yeah, if I know Fada, he's frustrated. He's like, I can't even believe this guy right now.
They can wait out the Magnus, and they will have an RP.
Oh,
Only
if they
one,
look down too, there's a DD rune at bottom.
Oh my goodness.
That's the GG rune. If you're Eternal Envy here, you'd have a bottle on one of your heroes just for this moment. He might even go check it. They'll grab it too. He's going to wait for his team probably to respawn. Oh, this is perfect.
Somebody get that bottle.
You don't even need it at this point. All you're doing right now is waiting for your Magnus to respawn, and then you go with the DD rune. Here we go.
Oh, what's happening in the middle lane, though? Darkseer pops the Glimmer Cape. He's taking a lot of damage. The Fisher actually blocks out the PL. Matumba Man has to back himself up, though.
You better run. That's a DDPA.
Yeah, Ace. He's not going to be purged up. He'll lose that one. Pops the BKB and jumps out.
Okay, I forgot about that.
So
Jerax's Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, Jerax is ready to go against any runes. He's just going to break that poor PA over and over again.
The play there is to get the Lotus Orb. But it doesn't really matter. This Phantom Assassin is huge, and she's the only core that really matters in this game that still has buyback available. Like, look at the heroes right now. It's literally only the VA. This is going to mean so much.
They've got 4 minutes. If they just want to sit around for a couple minutes, get their positioning. I mean, getting that bottom lane going is actually pretty important considering how low the throne was brought from just those super creeps.
If a fight goes that long again,
oh wow,
that's actually potentially just the game.
I really like that. The Halberd on Razor. You know the BKB is low on the PA. These team fights are drawing out well long enough that you can guarantee a disarm at some point.
Oh yeah, it's actually going to be really effective for the time being. But you've got, I think, doesn't the Lotus Orb get rid of it still? Or does it not? Is it just spells? Because it works if you get Hexed or Orchided, right?
Yeah.
That counts?
Yeah.
So it might just...
yeah, it should be able to take it away.
Yeah, I should be able to take it away. We'll be fine. I don't use that item enough.
I think it's probably the most criminally underused items. I think everybody just forgets about the fact that it takes away those debuffs. Ace is just charging forward right into a smoke. Immediately Echo slammed up, and Ace may just be popped here. He's going to go down before any of his teammates can respond. And now the BKB activated by Matumba Man. Now that Ace is down, he wants to be able to go for more. Maybe even force out
Ace
the buyback. He turns onto the Crystal Main. RP gets laid down, turned around by Kuro, and he's going to be locked down too. Now the buyback comes in, but can he actually get here in time? 3-man RP, but they don't have the PA just yet. They've already finished up 2. Here comes Ace now looking for Fada, and you get these bashes. Of course, he can get the Abyssal Blade. He still had that active. Disarmed. Fada jumping away. TP out, but a bash comes in once again. Fada gotta be so frustrated. He's down for 90 seconds. The rest of his team, all they have left is Matumba Man to defend this one. And I'm sure Danish Bears not even going to be worrying at this point in time about any of these Raxes. I figured they just go straight for throne. And sure enough, they start bypassing it. Dota in the front. Oh, immediately Matumba Man bashed up. Another critical bash and a Laguna Blade to delete him. 5 boys will lose game number 2 after a full hour of trying to defend. Danish Bears, they got trounced in game number 1, but came back strong in game 2.
I mean, that was so close. Like, that was actually really reasonable for them to be able to come back into that game. Like, you were maybe 1 or 2 moments away from being able to come back in. But great game overall. 5 boys are going to be kicking themselves over the start, but